Good morning. We're so glad you're tuning in with us. If it's your first time, welcome. If you're a frequent visitor with us, you know what to expect here in this beautiful house of Loveland. We're here this morning on a beautiful morning, sunshine, a little cool. One of those Texas things where things change real quick. One thing that we know that doesn't change here is love, the love that binds us, the love we celebrate, the love we are. In the next hour, I ask for you to release and surrender all your cares, concerns, and upsets, and anything that may be troubling you, and enjoy this time of what we call United Fellowship, this house at Loveville. I also ask that if this broadcast blesses you, that you consider pressing the PayPal button at the bottom of your page. Or if you prefer, you can send your gifts to Unity of Bernie, P.O. Box 1973, Bernie, Texas 78006. You'll be blessed by it. I know many of you told me you're blessed by it. You're blessed really all over the United States. We see you all tuning in and we love it. And thank you so much. As I say each Sunday right now, come on, let's join the family.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Bernie.
Good morning.
Good morning. A few things
Good morning.
this morning. There are still March and April daily works in the back for you to take. Even if you got one, take one and drop it off somewhere. How about that? A lot of times we have enough over, but it doesn't do us any good here. So take one and, I don't know, drop it off at your barber shop. So, do something with it. Better than sitting here.
Austin used to take him to the prisons when he used to counsel down there.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Everybody will want them gone, so take them and do something with them. If you've been coming for a while and you're not a member, consider filling out an application to become one. We do have a requirement in Unity Worldwide that we have to have a certain level of membership to stay right with everybody. And so we kind of hover around that mark sometimes. So yeah, if you're not a member and you've been coming, thinking about it. When you go home, walk around the corner and stick your head around to the left. There's a new shed out there. Who knows about that? Pat, you know about it?
I know about that.
Tell me
shed.
something about it.
The board approved to spend the funds to get that new shed put up this week. We found a really great contractor. We got it done in one day. Still needs a little finishing touch, some paint here and there, and a few other things, but we're happy to have it.
Awesome. So all our stuff be dry now, right?
Yes.
Just in time for the rain.
Yes.
Well done.
We'll send it to you.
Do that?
We'll send it to you.
Yeah. Okay. Happy to have it. What else? Anybody know something? Lunch today is
Shanghai.
Shanghai. Tell Ann if you would like to go.
So far we have 14.
Ooh, 14 people. All right. I'll refer you to order of service for all our ongoing activities and classes. Some of those are virtual, some are in person. Take a look at their login information is there as well as on our Facebook page. Anybody know anything I don't know? All right, guess what? We're going to stand in India. We're going to sing something.
Work wonders from within.
All right, here we go.
Work wonders from within. That's where to look within. There's no use looking somewhere else for power that you need to win. Work wonders from within. Be sure you look within. Just take your mind from outer fears. Don't think it's too late to begin. In you, in me, there's power to be. In you, in me, there's God that'll set us free. My course is up to me. Of course it's up to me. So I'll set my mind to use my power. If wonders I want to see.
Well done. While you're sitting down, find somebody close and say, you look spectacular.
Well, you do. I can't help it. You do.
Look at this. I love to see this. I love to see this. I'll give you the one the right kind of person to get that. Your turtleneck is like talking to mine.
I don't already put them all on.
But no, but you do wear a turtleneck from time to time, and I always notice. Because I am just a huge turtleneck fan.
Yeah, I am too.
And I'm not ashamed to put on the dickie underneath the shirt.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Friend.
As we quietly and gently prepare for the reading of the daily word, we remember that we are in spirit with millions of daily word readers in churches throughout the world. The Christ candle is lit as a reminder of the Spirit of God within all of us, which we call the Christ within. Today's word is assurance, and the affirmation, I live with the assurance of my divinity. There may have been times I doubted my ability to create the life of my highest imaginings and resign myself to living a limited life. Today I make a new choice. I see myself as fully divine and fully human. I am so much more than my past. Even if I have made regrettable decisions or disempowering choices, I have the assurance that with each new day, I can begin again and build the life I want to live. As I pray, I feel the limitations of the world fall away. In the silence, I feel the presence of God and the fullness of my own divinity. This is the enduring truth of who I am. I affirm, I am strong, I am creative, I am wise. I leave the past behind and eagerly create my future, assured of my eventual success. And the scripture comes from 1 John chapter 4, verse 13. By this we know that we abide in him and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit. And the affirmation again, if you'd like to say it with me.
I live with the assurance of my divinity.
And my name's Linda, and I thank you all for joining us in worship.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
All right, we stand together for our call to faith. We can affirm that together.
With life where I now stand, I affirm that my good comes to me, and I accept the blessings that are mine with an abundance of gratitude. And so it is.
All right, we stay right there for our joy song.
Happiness is found within. Happiness I'm bound to win. I can change my thoughts from gloomy to darkness. Happiness is found within. Happiness is found within. Happiness I'm bound to win. I can change my thoughts from no I can't to can do. Happiness is found within. We search and seek in outer ways to find our happiness, but How if it we turn from no to yes? So I can change my mind today. Change my thoughts to good and say, joy is part of me, it is my very nature. Happiness is found with, oh, happiness is found within. Okay.
Well done. Stay right there. We're going to do our mission statement together.
Unity is a vibrant, loving, spiritual community, providing a sacred space for personal growth. We honor and celebrate the Christ within all people.
Please be seated.
Good morning, lovely people. Good morning. Good morning, those of you who are tuning in online to our service. This is a time where we bring our prayer requests to the United Middle Force of Love, which is represented in this place, as I like to call the House of Love building. Right now, you know, if you've been here before, that the prayer request forms are in your bulletin. They're right there in the middle. You can fill them out as Maria brings the prayer box forward. If you prefer to keep them in the silence and stillness of your own heart, be assured that the presence within you knows of what you need before you even give utterance. So you can't lose. All you need to do is meditate. Let it go, release, think of the highest good, and bring love to bear. So we'll be praying soon, so I'll take a moment for you to fill out your prayer request forms as Bree comes forward. Thank you. Taking a deep breath. Bless you, dear. And releasing any of the sense that I must control. We surrender to the will of God in this time. Infinite presence, we know you are among us. We know that you're active in our affairs and active in this world's affairs. We know that you are the light by which we live, and that today some people are having trouble feeling this sense, seeing this light, knowing that you are their grounded being. We ask that you touch them in gracious ways that only you do. To remove the fear, the anxiety, the upset, the general discord that associates life on this planet sometimes. We affirm that your perfect will is done in the lives of the dear ones who have need, wherever they may be. Our force right now together reaches up and goes where it's needed, because no space in thought. We travel on wings of grace. Our thoughts are love, because you are with us. You never leave us, you never forsake us. We affirm in our hearts and our minds right now, your perfect will is being done right now. We believe it, we accept it, we know it, and so it is. Amen.
Are we doing Celebration Sunday today?
Special.
Okay. So, if our life is created by what we expect, and our expectations, let's expect to have beauty in our lives. And if you want, you can sing this with me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. There's a bright golden presence around me. There's a bright golden presence within me. My spirit is one with the one life divine.
sometime. We need to celebrate a life well lived. Oh my gosh, am I going to get shut out? All you blessed people. We're going to celebrate this weather before it's 105. A little bit of rain, that was good too. Oh my gosh, I got another one. That's just guilt right there. All right, sir. Your name?
Todd.
What do you celebrate?
Just grateful to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. Love it. So Todd and I went to the same high school. We didn't see each other for 40 years, and we walked in one day.
What are you doing here?
I lived on Flying W. He lived on Circle A. We rode the same bus.
Yeah, me and my uncle worked out the same thing.
30 years later, who knows, right? Your name, sir?
My name is Richard Taylor.
What are you celebrating,
Called
Richard?
Rick. And it is a beautiful morning. I love it. And I love every morning because I'm getting near the end of mornings. Pretty soon, I guess. But I'm hanging in for some reason. But I'm here partly to celebrate my wonderful wife, who is probably 7 hours difference, just leaving the ski hills in France with her brother and all his kids and everything. And she is having a different kind of a holiday without me. And I think it was a good idea because they'll be traveling around a bit. I don't speak German, so, but they all can spit out a bit of English. And I'm very happy for her because she wanted to be able to visit some of her family. Nobody lives in the U.S. related to her, so this is a big deal. And I'm just celebrating and very happy. I'm not happy to be alone, but I have some good caretakers. One actually lives in our house, and I'm grateful for them all. So, thank you very much.
Hey. I think the rest of us are probably out skiing. I'm pretty sure. Your name?
I'm Maria.
What are you celebrating?
I'm celebrating the day. It's a beautiful day. It's always a beautiful day. I'm celebrating family and don't make me cry. Anyway, I'm celebrating family. We have a family that we share. We had so many memories together. We have a family that we have here in this church. I'm grateful for our church family as well. And I am celebrating God, who I call Abba, our Father. So He is my headstone. He is the one that oversees me. He is my Papa. And so I'm celebrating Him and all the blessings and the ways in which He directs our lives. He gets us through all the bumps and helps us to be aware and of the blessings that are there. So I celebrate the blessings from the Father.
So we were thinking about you last week because we were they weren't here.
Here.
Your name?
My name is Ann,
What are
and
you celebrating?
I'm actually celebrating for other people, but I wanted to say something. You said Esther's probably a better skier than you. I remember years ago, Rick was a championship skier, snow skier, and I remember years ago you telling me when you met Esther, you asked her if she skied, and she told you, "Oh yes, I'm a good skier." And you were thinking, "Yeah, sure you are." And damn it, she wasn't. Anyway, I'm celebrating for two people. One's not here and one did not come up. But first is David. His the only birthday this month, and it's on Tuesday.
All right.
So happy birthday, David. He's doing golf stuff. And the other is Cynthia, because she had a major operation with a shoulder replacement, and she is doing wonderfully well.
Really good. All right. Did your team win? Is that why you're up here?
Yes, that's exactly why.
Roger, you're doing great. I've got two different, or actually 3 different people that I want to thank. The first one is Ann Gully for inviting me here when they were reading the book Practicing the Presence, Goldsmith. That's kind of when I first started coming here a couple of years ago, so thank you, Ann. And then there's one that I'd like to get Jay up here if I can, just for a split second. You and Brent over here, just for a second.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank both of y'all for keeping this place together when COVID hit and so forth. And I think there's a special thanks that we all owe to you. Thank you.
That was
Totally crazy.
That, yeah, but we did it.
Yeah, totally
Yeah,
crazy.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, hand your hands up to these fine people. Wave your fingers. Say, we honor your celebrations. And we are assured the best is yet to come.
That's the other up.
Take them home.
In the midst of his children, the Lord said that he would be. It doesn't take very many. It can be just 2 or 3. And I feel that same sweet spirit that I felt oft times before. Surely I can say I live the Lord. Surely
Right now, we come to the time in our service where we engage in the art of meditation, sitting in the stillness, contemplating, visualization, whatever you call it. And I invite you to take a deep breath, be aware of your feet touching the floor, put your hands in your lap. And this is a moment for you. This is a moment of recreation in the silence. O Spirit of us, and God within us, your power is great, and your knowledge goes beyond the range of human experience. Your wisdom exceeds that of all else, and besides you there is none other. In your strength do I daily walk and live. In your presence do I rest in peace and joy. Wonderful is your might and complete is your understanding. I let your mighty strength flow through me now in the silence, upcoming, and out into all the paths of my human endeavors. come from this time. We realize the health of God is our health. The strength of God is our strength. And the love of God is our love. We give thanks for this time of recreation and know it is done to us that we believe. And so it is. Thank you, Amy. Well, good morning once again. As I say, it's always wonderful to be with you and to spend some moments thinking of ideas of how we can experience more of this thing called life. I'd like to ask you a question this morning. There's no need to raise hands or answer anything. I'd just like you to ponder this in your mind. By and large, when you come to a place like this, and those of you who are tuning in online this morning, when you tune in, what are you expecting to happen? What is it that you really live your life by? What do you expect to happen? You know, many people have expectations when they walk into certain places. It's normal. We expect when we go into a restaurant that we're going to have good food. We expect that when we go into a store, they're going to have what we want. These kind of things are what I call the normal, everyday expectations. But I'd like to, as one great chef on the Food Network says, let's kick it up a notch right now. What do you truly expect for your life? And what do you allow to shape those expectations? And in what way do you hold on to ideas that they may have been good yesterday, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, but today they're not working just the way you thought they might, or but let's just say they haven't aged particularly well. And what is it about the newness of life that we fear? Because lots of people fear new beginnings, new things, and changes. I know it's happened to me in my life. We get settled into a routine and something, that we kind of count on all the time. We expect something to go a certain way. And then out of nowhere, it seems like life comes crashing in on the backside or sideways. And all of a sudden, we feel shaken and shattered to the core. Those are the big things that can happen. The little things that can happen is if, we're used to parking in a space when we go somewhere and somebody else gets it, and we get ourselves kind of upset about that, and it kind of flavors the moment. We live with an idea so many times that the world is made to be subservient to what I want, rather than understanding that life is always going to give you what you expect and ultimately what you need. And the reason that happens is because we're in a world of flux and change. This is a place where time and gravity and these certain physical laws apply to us. And we operate within the framework and the parameters of those things. Otherwise, if we didn't have those laws, we all go flying off the face of the earth with no gravity. And if we did, and if there was no time, we'd realize right away that we were wonderful, beautiful, magnificent children of God. We wouldn't need where we are right now. But we have time on this plane, in this phase of existence, to remember what we forgot. we're here because we wanted to be individuals. We wanted to experience what it was like to be the God of our lives. And so we're here on what you would call a heroic mission, and we act like we play small. We act like, well, I'm only human, I'm only this, onlys are all things designed to diminish you. But when you truly expect the best, and you may not know what that is right now, that's why and the old metaphysicians had this thing about, don't outline your good. Leave space for serendipity, leave space for the unexpected activity of the grace of God. Thank you, Ernest Wilson. He was a great unity minister way back in the 30s and 40s who talked about having this idea that it doesn't have to be so narrow, my expectations, but I can open them for the unexpected serendipity and the wonderful things that can happen when my attitude changes from one of habitual understanding that I had to one that welcomes the new. And I don't know about you, but sometimes the new is a scary thing. I mean, we have to walk around and get a little accustomed to it. Very seldom can we just jump into something new that happens. We say we need some time to adjust. We need to get with the program. That's a big one that was talked about. And many times, when, at our jobs and places, people say you got to get with the program. You got to understand the way things are done here. You got to walk our way. The world impinges on us with its expectations, and it's going to move you in many ways because that's what the world does. But you have the power inside you to change your expectations. This is going to sound kind of strange, but change your expectations about what you're expecting. Seems like we could go round and round, doesn't it? But let me square the circle, so to speak. And I know this is a big if, stick with me. If you can forgive everything that happened yesterday, really forgive it. If you can take a deep breath and say, Holy Spirit, Spirit of God, higher power, whatever you call it, doesn't matter. I am open, ready, and receptive to the good that I know comes my way, even if I don't know what that is right now. The third thing, not only what I just mentioned, that open spirit, but looking at other people with this new vision that I'm talking about, saying, those that cross my path are doing the best they know how to do according to their knowledge and awareness right now, as am I. Those three things, beginning the day, ensure to a large degree your peace of mind. And the fact that the little things, what are the Lilliputians of life that we all have to face, are not going to string you up and drag you down and pin you to a place where you feel you're a victim of this world. Wayne Dyer wrote a book that was seminal for me. I'm going to have to tell you that it was the first one before I was ever interested in religion, God, any of these things. I read it because it spoke to me of the freedom I wanted to experience. It was called Your Erroneous Zones. It was published in 1976. And it talked about being, first of all, a victim of, the problems of being a victim of yourself, and the problems of having people victimize you with their expectations. In other words, you're too old, you're too young, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're this, you're that. You believe other people's expectations of how you should be, and you don't live your own life. I absolutely loved that book because it was also grounded in great basic psychology. Good psychology, I've said, is good religion. Have you noticed that? What's healthy, let me put it this way. You go to a therapist and they tell you all the great things that you're supposed to do about forgiving yourself and others. But then what happens if you go to a church, not like this one, but somewhere else, and they tell you you're a sinner, that says the worm and the dust that need to be saved by grace. You've got two different things that are walking around. You have a war set up inside you. Instead of saying, I have, this is a good one, I think, I am, and I have no laws over me but the law of my own being. And I accept new inspiration. I'm ready to walk forward without the need for approval from anyone. Didn't say that approval isn't nice. I, for example, as a speaker and a public speaker for 35 years, I really didn't need the approval of the audience in front of me. I liked it when it came. I knew there were going to be some people that disagreed. That's part of my expectation as a speaker. I don't think that was limiting myself. I think that was being realistic. There are going to be some people in front of me or in front of you and in front of your life that are not going to approve of you and what you do. And if you become stultified by that, if the fundament of your being is shaken by other people, then you're not living your own authentic life. One of the things that Dyer said in that book is he put a list of songs that we live by. You make me feel brand new. You are the one that counts. So everything was always, back then it seemed like, and to this day still, it was, we look outward for the power to come to us. We give outward things power. Nobody does anything. Do you know nobody's insulted you? You've insulted yourself by what you told yourself about what they said. Their words may have been awful, miserable, all these things. I don't disagree with that, but you have to accept it. And this is what Wayne Dyer talked about in your erroneous notes. It was so powerful. And by the way, he didn't just begin. He began with psychology. He ended up in metaphysics. I began with psychology at that time. I ended up a metaphysical minister. There were times, and I knew this man, there were times that our lives dovetailed. I remember sitting in the anteroom when we'd be speaking at some venue, and of course I was the opening act. I wasn't those big guys. But those big guys were nice enough to consent to talk to me. And you know, this was way back there. And he'd be sitting there with that little beanie, and he'd be doing the perfect meditation. And he'd be breathing, and I thought, I don't want to ask you anything right now, but I sure have some questions. And finally, he'd look over and say, my name is, first time, my name is Jay, and he said, I'm Wayne. I want you to know your book meant so much to me about my life in the late 70s. He said, what did it help you to do? I want to hear what floats your boat. I want to hear the things that make you excited about life. And I said, well, the idea that I can expect something new, and I'm not a prisoner of other people's expectations, but you know what? I want to go out and tell people this. And our mutual friend, Jack Boland, as I told you, had already kicked me out on the stage and told me you had 7 minutes. I had 7 minutes to go out and speak to people. And it did come out. But I had to kind of craft that as time went on into a more cohesive thing of what I wanted to teach. He said, and then he said this to me, what are we doing here? And I said, hopefully we're changing lives. Or we're giving the tools to people to change lives. Or we're mirroring the change that we want to be. Or we're saying that the approval, the true approval, is not from outside ourselves. Although it feels nice, the true approval comes when you know you're living according to your internal life. No matter what that is. No matter whether somebody or a group of somebody say hooray, or they look at you and say you're absolutely wrong. You're the one who has to live with you. The power of expectation inside you. You go forward and expect the best to come to you, regardless of what other people may say or think or even do. I've found great people care the least about approval. Do you think Martin Luther King, when he stood up and could have torn this country to pieces in the late 60s, do you think that he cared about approval? He cared about showing love. He knew there was going to be a lot of people who were racist that disapproved. The great people, if you look back through history, the great people told their truth and lived their truth regardless of what anybody else had to say or think about it. Are we doing that for ourselves right now? Are we living according to the highest that's in us? Are we knowing that God will shape and use and be with us in our circumstances if we allow it? But all we really have to worry about is ourselves in that presence. The people outside us are either going to fall in line with what we think or they'll fall away. Maybe there's some people in your life that need to fall away. Maybe there's some people who are holding you back. Maybe there's some people you need to forgive and bless out the doors, Catherine Ponder used to say. I remember when Catherine and I were sitting, she had this big bouffant hairdo. I got to tell you, I was one of those young guys, I kind of liked it, the perfume, and she was very petite, she had this jewelry and all. I thought, wow, you talking about prosperity, this lady exudes it. But she handled the disapproval of a fundamentalist minister who happened to walk in where we were and say, you are spreading the devil's lies, and you should not be here. And she said, thank you for your opinion. And she said, and I bless you straight out the door. And he walked. He was almost cowed. Because the firm presence, the wonderful, strong presence that was really who she is, spoke truth to that kind of stuff. And I learned and I listened. These ladies that were my mentors were fabulous. One was up the road, Joan McKee, Marianne Bowers, Ann Kuna, Catherine Ponder. I could name them all. There was all booth at Jim's restaurants at 410 and Broadway, back when you could smoke, and that room with them was full of smoke. And they'd sit there with their coffee and their cigarettes, and they would talk some of the most metaphysical truths I ever heard. And I listened and I learned because they were right. They were right then. It was right 100 years ago. It was right 5,000. It'll be right always. Because what was said was, the thing that matters is to thine own self be true. Wayne Dyer in Your Erroneous Zone says, to yourself be true. What can you do today? What can you expect from yourself that will surprise the self of you yesterday? Hey, how about that? Something that we can do today, no matter how small, that moves us differently than yesterday and makes us take a step up inside. If life isn't about that, then you tell me what it is. If it's not about, I'm going to be real personal. If it's not about holding my kitties and my animals, if it's not about the taste when I bite into a good Subway sandwich, or go outside and do my tomatoes, those small moments of joy that happen, even in the midst of whatever I'm going through, and I'm going through some stuff right now, but you take those moments and you hold them, grab them to you, live them, love them, expect them to happen. The more you expect them to happen, the more they're going to, because you're tilling the soil of your mind to accept the new. That's what we call this new thought. We don't call this old thought. We don't call this established thought. It's new thought. What new thing can you expect to be done in your life today? So what do you really expect for yourself? So many times we set our expectations so low because we think we know ourselves. We don't know ourselves even. How about this? We're always a work in progress. We don't know ourselves even until we get even to the end. I remember my father, 87 years old, just a couple of years before he died, that I'm still learning things about myself. Oh yes, there are things that he loved to do and did them over and over, but he found new authors, new TV shows, new people. He was always looking for that Wayne Dyer talked about, that out of the ordinary. And Robert Frost talked about taking the road less traveled that made all the difference in the world. You step off the crowded road for a moment, and you find something new. Earl Nightingale, who was a big influence to Wayne Dyer, he and I talked about it. Boy, he was a big influence to me. He said, whatever the mass of humanity is doing right now, do the opposite. I thought for a minute, I thought, well, that wouldn't work in traffic, and that wouldn't work, you know, in medical school. So, but then I realized the overarching truth of what he said. Haven't you always found the greatest thing sometimes to step away from the crowd and follow your own path? Walk to your own drummer. Henry David Thoreau said it. If a man doesn't keep pace with his companions because he hears a different drum and different music, let him walk to that beat, no matter how measured or far away. Trust yourself. Be yourself. Expect the best for yourself. And how do you do that? By clearing the slate, wiping, use any metaphor you want, wiping the chalkboard of your mind and saying, I'm a work in progress, and I'm going to unwrap the gift I am, and I'm going to be true to the highest impulses that I feel. If I want to go do something that I've never done before, I'm going to do it simply because I want to, without the need for approval, without the need for permission. I don't know how you all feel about the singer Madonna, but I remember her quoting something that I particularly loved. I wrote it down in my sayings that I wanted to keep. Poor is the man, and we know it could be person. Poor is the man whose permissions depend, poor is the man whose pleasures depend upon the permission of others. Poor is the person whose pleasures depend upon the permission of others. That means that you get to row your own boat. That's scary sometimes. You're going to have to adjust. And you're going to have to hear a lot of people, see a lot of people point fingers and hear them probably say, I wish you wouldn't do that, or outright, you're wrong for doing that. Remember this. Originality. Being who you are is the greatest gift you can give the rest of us. You realize that? Be yourself because everybody else already taken. And I know when I say this, that people say, you mean I can step out, I would leave my responsibilities and just walk away? No. I'm not talking about that. If you're the type of person to do that, you're gonna do that anyway. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about honoring the light in you, the signals for growth, as Dyer talked about. Now, that was a great one. I didn't even think of being a pastor at that time. I wouldn't think of anything, except I knew one thing: I wanted to float my own boat. And I had a father who promoted that like crazy. And I loved it. And I've done so many things. And you know what the best thing is? It ended me up right here. I don't even think that's proper English, excuse me. I ended up right here. And I love it. And I love you. And I love people. And I love this job and this work. And I hope you all love your life and what you do as much as I do. May you go forth this week in love, peace, and originality, expecting the best. And so this is the time in our service when we give and receive. There's really one act. And I ask you to give the best gift of which you're able. You know this year is our 30th anniversary as a church. We have a committee we're forming right now. And if you would like to be on it, let me or a board member know about this. With our 30th anniversary, there are going to be things that are happening. And I'm so excited to be part of this. So happens that my tenure as your pastor intersected with the 30th anniversary. So think about this as this year comes. It's actually our 30th anniversary, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, December 24th, 1995.
That was our first service. We incorporated on December 4th, so however you want to.
December 4th
Or the 24th.
or the 24th. There you are. Let's just call it then. And
It was December.
December, 30 years ago. So give the best gift, which are know that you're enabling MULKEY to do the wonderful work that it's doing, and it's reaching out all over the place. And I know I've told you about that. And I ask you at home, press the PayPal button or send your gift to MULKEY of Bernie, PO Box 1973, Bernie, Texas 78006. Please give your best as Mark comes forward. Thank you.
Freely, freely I have received. Freely, freely I give. My love through me blesses all that I am, all that I give and receive. All that I give and receive.
Together we say, divine
Love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I send it forth with my blessings and my love.
So it is.
Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
Together we stand and join hands as we feel comfortable in this role.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and feel free to come and join with us again anytime in person or online.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Together we say, the light of
God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
You started. And I had a messed up response of shutting you down. I did not realize that
brother. I'm not.
About pulled down on us, also the ground, you pick yourself up.
I was being political. I was only being political. And I just wanted to get away from what was around.
Sometimes I do that.
That's important to me. And there you have it. Isn't that wonderful how things play out? You know, we're a family here, and I don't know if you get to notice that. We kind of protective of letting visitors' faces show up without their permission on the internet. So we've been a little protective. We're making changes, and we're going. And thank you so much for being with us and going with us. That's important. And we're going forward, and we're just pleased to know that some of you are going forward with us. God bless you. Till next week, or the next time we come together in whatever form, shape, or place, or time. You're one of us, we're one of you, and it's a larger family than any of us understand. We want you and the rest of your part of the family to have a most fulfilling year. God bless you. From all of us here, community of family. Bye for now.
That's warm, so. It's a country church, I have permanent everywhere.